Hello, welcome to the Alchemy Show. This is episode 3 of the Laundromat Adventures. Today is Sunday, the 14th, and I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm getting out of my funk. I am starting to give myself more grace, and I'm also have been working out, and I don't know, and it's not like a real hard workout. Like, I've been doing little crunches, I've been doing little arm exercises. I haven't really been working out with Glow by Joe like I probably will do today, but I have been staying constant. And normally when I'm off, I don't get more than like 1,200 steps a day. Would let you know how lazy I am, or how not lazy, how much I feel like not moving. I work a very physical demanding job, and when you work a very physical demanding job, you don't want to do nothing. You want to spend the rest of your days recouping. But I have been getting at least 3,000 to 4,000 steps. So I've been walking at least close to a half mile, a quarter mile, a mile. I have been getting out the house. I didn't get out the house yesterday, and I noticed that's another thing that kind of puts me in a mood, is when I stay at home all the time that I'm off. So yesterday was the only day I embedded myself in the house and just watched TV. So that was great. Ooh. So what should the topic of today be? We already talked about liars before. We already talked adult people that lie for no reason. We already talked about people not taking accountability. We've talked about depression. What is heavy on my heart today? You know what? Giving yourself grace. I am the hardest, and I think everyone can relate. We are the hardest on ourselves. And I think it's because we know our full potential, and somehow we never feel like we comply to that potential. I don't know if it's like we're always falling short. And giving grace, and also after you have given yourself grace, what's next? And grace, this doesn't have to be a religious thing. I think when people hear the word grace, they automatically think, oh, this is just a religious thing. No, giving yourself your flowers. I have a problem with acknowledging my goals, because a lot of times when I'm navigating through life, I feel like I don't reflect enough on the emotional trauma and damage that is going on at that time, or even the accolades and celebration at the time. Like, I don't sit down and be like, girl, look what you did. You raised a child on your own. Not on my own, but with a tribe. I had a tribe of people help me. My grandmother, my grandfather, my aunt helped me, my mom helped me, and we have all came together, and we have raised a 24-year child. RIP that all of them aren't here still today. God bless my grandma, grandpa. But we have raised a 24-year-old daughter. A lot of it was on my own, but in the early years, I've had a tremendous amount of help in that thing. And because I didn't have a job that allowed me to be there. Being a dialysis tech, you're getting up at 4 o'clock. You're probably at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. Getting up at 3. I had to drop my daughter off, get to work, and then leave work, take her to school. I did a lot of things on my own, and that was because I was, I guess, retarded. Even though I had help, I didn't want to be a burden. I never want to be a burden on people, and I end up probably putting more stress on me besides people who are willing with their hands open to help. And asking for help is the hardest thing for me to do. And when I do ask for help, you have to understand that it is probably the last thing I want to do. So I don't want to be patronized. I don't want to hear I told you so. I just need your help. And if I ask for help, and you're one of those people that go like, hey girl, just ask me. Whenever you need help, just ask me. And then when I finally do ask and you can't help me, believe you, I will never ask you again. Story. There was a guy who I was dating, and this is when I was in college before I had my daughter. And he kept saying, he was in the military. He kept saying, "Oh, girl, if you need anything, just let me know. You know, you in school, you know, you working that little job." And my little job was like a 20-hour work study job, which I was making. Was I making minimum wage? I think I was making minimum wage, but when I tell you the struggle was real, I was on food stamps. I was on working minimum wage, only 20 hours. But I had great grades. I was doing great in school, but school doesn't pay rent. So, he was just kept saying, you know, if you need anything, just ask. And I really didn't need it. But when someone keeps telling me, you know, like, hey, if you need $20, just ask for it. If you need this, just ask for it. If you need that, just ask for it. So finally I was like, you know what? Can I borrow $20? And I think I needed supplies for school. But it wasn't something that was a need. I mean, I could have waited till payday, but since he was always telling me at the end of every conversation, right before he would leave or before we hang up the phone, girl, if you need anything, blah, blah, blah. So finally I asked, hey, you got $20 I can hold? I can pay you back, blah, 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 blah. And when I tell you how his face looked when I asked him for $20, how his whole demeanor changed over $20. And I granted, this is like early 2000s. $20 could have got you some things back then. You know what I mean? $20 could have got you some, probably 3-4 meals at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like $20 was something. Like you could have had a full tank of gas off of $20 and you could have bought a meal off of $20. Now, shit. You can barely buy 2 meals at McDonald's for $20 and they ain't not even high class. So, but then his whole personality shift. Like he even stopped calling. He stopped coming by over $20. So, moral of the story. Don't ever tell anyone that you can help them. And when they need help, you just come ghost. Because that's not cool. Because you don't know how much it took that person to ask for help. And you kept signaling that you're their ally, you will be there, you're in their corner. And as soon as they need help, you run. And then it was funny because then when I did call him, that's when I found out. So much, that's another story time. But I have so many story times. I probably could be TikTok famous. But who wants to be TikTok famous with everybody knows your business? Like, okay, everybody who is on the road to 10,000 followers, what's after you get 10,000? Because half of you won't make it. Let's be realistic. 10,000 is a lot of time on these lives, a lot of times farming and gathering a community. I just hope that off of some of this growth is organic. I'm pulling people in already. And if I can't pull people in on TikTok, I hope I'm pulling people in on YouTube. Because why not? Why not sit down every day, have a discussion? Maybe the more subscribers I get, the better my videos will get, the better editing I can get, because then I can afford an editor and I can afford a better camera, and then everything just rolls. But until then, thank you for coming to the Tiakam Show, episode 3, The Laundromat. And I hope you have a great Sunday. Monday, depending on who you are, Sunday's the beginning of the week. Or some other people think that Monday's the beginning of the week. So, however you do it, have a good day, love. Bye. Mwah.